Thanks for listening to DENADONSRADIO, the hottest internet station on the planet.
You're now listening to A-Rob Music.
All right, it's Sunshine Underground Dena Dons. I'm your host, Big Brook. I'm back on the line with a very special guest. It's your boy Locke calling in from the East Coast. How you doing today, man?
Peace, man. I'm doing good, man. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing real good, man. Thank you for asking, brother. Now, for those of you who don't know, Locke is the founder and CEO of Smart Music Entertainment. And, man, can you tell us a little bit more about Smart Music ENT?
Yeah, man. Smart Music Entertainment, basically, man. We are a company that advocates the importance of education. We do educational hip-hop music. And we put that music out there as a tool to help people, inspire kids, and, people of all ages to really learn and absorb knowledge. You know what I mean? It's pretty much four different aspects of the company. We got the music, we have the community, so we got the Smart Music Insights initiatives that come out. We have the workshops, speeches and live shows, and, we also do original songwriting for people that's also involved in this movement that we can collaborate. So, Smart Music Entertainment is definitely a company that's all about the promotion of education.
There it is. I could dig it, man, and that's exactly what we need in society. Those four elements: music, community, workshop, and songwriting. I mean, they're gonna go a long way, and they're also very important elements of hip hop. So we appreciate you for doing that, Locke. Now we know that you work with the kids, and you look to motivate a lot of the youngsters out there. Can you tell us about maybe some of the ways that you motivate those youngsters? Is it through your hard work ethic, or is it through your hard dedication and study?
Well, it's a combination of both, because for this particular company, it definitely takes the research, it definitely takes the study, it definitely takes that aspect to put it into the music to get a message out. But then outside of taking time to read and, study and look up things and bring people different information, it's also getting it out to the people. It's also going into the schools, it's also performing at different events, it's also doing the workshops. We definitely like to touch any way that we can and just do our part. Because there's a lot of things that need to be done. So music and the promotion of education is just a part of it. But we definitely go into the schools, I talk to the kids, I give them the music, and we grow from there.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we need, Locke, and we appreciate you for doing that. The kids appreciate you. We need strong leaders in the community, role models that we can actually look up to, not ones that's talking about drugs and violence and foolishness, but ones that actually are caring about the community and want to see the community do well. So we appreciate you for that, Locke. You dig? Now, we know you're looking to inspire children with learning disabilities of all kinds, colors, and creeds. And I was hoping you could tell me maybe is in one or two of the kids that you could elaborate on that you've seen how to turn around in their life, that you impacted them and makes you feel good about it.
Well, this is kids that we're still working with, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say, that it turned their life around, you know what I mean? But and I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to throw their names out there, but there's a couple of young brothers I know have autism that I'm working with, performing at the Special Olympics and just seeing those kids and providing motivation, so it's pretty much just going out and reaching the people that, I would say people are forgetting, you know what I mean? But we're not paying as much attention to, you know what I mean? And for me especially, I have close friends of mine whose kids have, mental disabilities. And, it's always good to collab with them on different things and different events within the community to bring the music out and to hear them laugh, hear them have fun, and, to just bring, not a sense of normalcy, but, something that everybody else is trying to bring back into their lives. So, we just keep moving in that direction. We're going to continue to perform at Special Olympics. I'm going to continue to stand for autism. I'm going to continue to, a couple of weeks ago I performed at a cancer relay marathon. We continue to do events like that, and it just help the whole process move along.
I could dig it, and that's real deep. Like I continue to tell you, what you're doing is real heavy, and it's inspirational to anybody out there listening. I want you to check out this brother's website, smart-hiphop.com. There's a lot of fire information on there. He's gonna show you how to walk on a right path and on the straight and narrow and live life correctly. Okay. Now look, I got an exclusive interview right now with your boy Larry Locke Henderson, the founder and CEO of Smart Music Entertainment, where they provide to you educational hip hop I want y'all to check for his new music right now. He got 2 tracks that I'm really digging. One of them is called Kings and Queens, and the other one is called Harriet Tubman. Locke, can you tell us a little more about them 2 tracks?
Yes, I can. You know what I mean? First of all, we got Kings and Queens. It's about ancient African kings and queens, and how that song starts out. We don't come from slaves, but from enslaved Africans. So I'm pretty much trying to bridge the gap so people, especially of the African American diaspora, can understand that our history doesn't begin with slavery 400 years ago. It was the people that was enslaved, and the place that people that was enslaved comes from is Africa. And then once you get into that, there's a whole different, you know, there's all types of subjects, there's all types of history, and there's all types of things that we can get into. But just to say that, you know, I want to go back to slavery, you know, it's a miseducation. So Kings and Queens try to just bring light to that subject a little bit while educating you on who some of those kings and queens were. And that is actually lesson 1, the first album. And then Harriet Tubman, lesson 2, is basically, you know, just bigging up Harriet Tubman. She's one of the strongest women, you know what I mean, that we've seen as far as how she died with freedom throughout the Underground Railroad. And I don't think she has been properly represented. You know what I mean? It's crazy how we can not really pay the respect that these people are owed. You know what I mean? And make mockeries and jokes. And I'm not even going to get into that aspect of it. But this was just highlighting the contributions, you know what I mean, to pretty much to the movement.
Absolutely, I can dig it, man. Make sure y'all check for those. They're right there on the website for you. Once again, the website is smart-hiphop.com. The name of the 2 tracks I want y'all to check out immediately, Kings and Queens, telling y'all about enslaved Africans as well as Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? The Underground Railroad and the struggle leading everybody to freedom. Shouts out to Harriet Tubman for allowing those opportunities to be made, you dig? All right, now it's Locke, the hip-hop educator, on the line right now. I want to ask you this, brother. Nas said hip-hop is dead, you dig? Now, what are some of the things that you feel are missing from the hip-hop game today?
You know, to be honest with you, I don't think anything's missing. You know, I think that the messages in hip-hop can only change after we do more work in the community. You know, I know that hip-hop is negative and hip-hop is violent, but when you go into these areas, you know what I mean, it's negative and it's more violent than ever. You know what I mean? So until we you know, change our community, and by changing the community, we'll change the lyrical content that comes out of the mouths of the artists that come from that community. If we're not addressing, you know, the dilapidated school systems, if we're not addressing gang violence, if we're not addressing drugs, liquor stores, if we're not addressing all of the guns in the community, what do we think is going to come out of the mouths of these artists? You know what I mean? So it's like we're focusing on the content, you know what I mean, without focusing on the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hip-hop is just, it's like listening to the news. When you're listening to the artists, you're listening to what's going on, and you're listening to what they see. And we're just saying, oh, man, that's bad. I hear you get all this too much negativity. It's crazy in the hood. You know what I mean? So we have to do more in the community before I think we can expect the messages from these artists to change. And I don't think that that's the whole picture of hip-hop. You know, hip-hop is global. There's a lot of artists. You can't say that what you hear in the mainstream media is an accurate representation of hip-hop. It's just a small piece of the pie. And that's, you know, that's because of economics, other influences that, you know what I mean, their financial gains, the motivation that comes into play. But, you know, hip-hop, man, it's a lifesaver for a lot of people. It's still a means to get something off your chest. It's still a means to tell your story. It's still a means to express your creativity. So I know it's a lot of negativity and violence, but if we're not helping people get more jobs, you know what I mean, and doing things of that nature, you know, what you expect to hear? You know what I mean? If the schools is messed up, you think you're going to hear, you know what I mean, some type of articulate intellectual violence? You know what I'm saying? We have to do a lot more in our community before we just start saying this, before we just start bashing, you know what I mean, the lyrics that's coming out of your mouth. Come on.
I hear you, Locke. Now let me ask you this though. Let me ask you a follow-up question though. Why do you feel it is that in my particular community, I don't feel that the artists do a lot? You know what I mean? For, you know, the community. I feel like the ball players do more than the artists around my neighborhood. Is it the same around your way?
whether it's the artists or is it the rappers that's coming back to the communities and doing stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you see that a lot around your way on the East Coast? Because I don't see it too much around here.
Nah. Well, you know what I mean? It's you know, these artists are not, you know, they don't have the money that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And the artists that do, I mean, we don't know what they do. You know what I mean? Especially the big name artists, you know, your Jay-Z's and your Nas's. You know, they have their foundation. They have, you know, people that they give money to. They have families that help. They do a lot in their own respective hoods. But it's not a lot of rappers, you know what I'm saying, that's just in the position to financially be a good look. You know what I'm saying? So they're still in the hood. But, you know, it's a mixture, man. You know what I mean? Certain people got the heart to come back, certain people don't. You know, I see more athletes, but there are a lot more athletes that are a lot more successful than your typical musicians. There ain't a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the artists that are big and the artists that's making those dollars, I mean, they do what they do. You know what I mean? We throw out the big names. I'm sure they got organizations, and I'm sure if we do some research, we can find out what they do in their community. But it ain't a lot of them. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I know the target is painted on hip-hop's back as far as what they doing, but they still in the hood. You know what I mean? They're still struggling. They're still trying to get to the point where they can say they've made it, where they're, you know, everybody's aspiring to be, you know, to have the finances of a Master P and of a whole, but they ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, there's LeBron James, and Kobe, you know, the litany of you know, athletes, football, basketball, you know, that's a larger group of people. You know what I mean? It just ain't like that in the music industry.
Okay, thank you for educating me on that, Locke, and I appreciate you for that. Because that was something that was burning on my mind and I didn't understand, you did? Now I'm Thank you very much. I'm on the phone with the hip-hop educator himself. It's Larry Locke Henderson, CEO and founder of Smart Music Entertainment, okay? They're about music, community, workshop, and songwriting. Check out the new singles, Kings and Queens, as well as Harriet Tubman on the website, smart-hiphop.com, okay? Now, if you could work with anybody, Locke, past or present, any of the greats, and do a collaboration, you know, to get your message out there of educational hip-hop, who do you think could help you the most?
Past-wise, you know, Pop, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my favorite artists of all time, you know what I'm saying? In my list of top 3, you know what I'm saying? And he's just, you know, he's more of, I think his spirit was in line with what we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm often asked the question, why don't these rappers do this and that? And another answer to that is it's not in their heart, you know what I'm saying? Some of these people are actually gangsters who just got rich, so you can't, you know, you can't expect them to change, you know what I'm saying? But a person like Pop comes from those roots, I would expect, you know what I mean, for it to be a more productive product. But, you know, outside of him, you know, of course I would love to work with Nas. Then one of my favorite MCs of all time is Redman. Would love to work with him. But then it's just a lot of producers I would want to work with. You know, Pharrell, and I just think the creativity will be through the roof. I'm a fan of music, man. You know, I'm definitely a fan of creativity. I'm a fan of music. So there's, you know, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've been listening to hip hop since the 80s. I definitely didn't just jump on the screen. So, you know, there's a lot of artists that I would work with if I could do the game. But I would definitely, you know what I mean, from a past perspective, want to do something with Pop. But now, it would definitely be like a Nas, maybe a Pharaoh Monster, you know what I mean, a Talib Kweli. You know, artists who I know have, I'm not going to say similar sounds, but at least I know that the content of what they're saying is on par with the content that I'm bringing.
That's right. Shouts out to Redman, Nas, Pharaoh Monch, Talib Kweli, and you know you can't forget Tupac and Biggie. You feel me? 2 of the best to ever do it. So shouts out to them. You dig? Ooh, I love me some Pac, but I love me some Biggie too. Can you dig it, Locke?
Oh yes, sir. Actually, I used to intern at that place, man. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right around that time with Big was rocking.
Wow.
So you know, he's definitely gonna be, you know, one of my favorites of all time.
Absolutely, I could dig it, man. Hey, it's Locke, the hip-hop educator on the line. Did you want to give any shout-outs while I still got you on the phone for a minute?
Well, you know, shout out to this strategy, man. You know, that's like the engine behind Smart Music Entertainment that handles a lot of the marketing and getting things done. You know, and just shout out to, everybody that's helping me with this new album, man. My man Merck, my man, Dave Harden, who's been a friend from back in the day. My man Just from Super Service Beach, my man Demo, you know what I mean? And just everybody who's been supporting Smart Music Entertainment, and definitely all of the educators and all of the groups, like, shout out to Boyd from Trenton, New Jersey, man, who does a lot with the youth, and, just different people, Umar Johnson and Steve Terry, and, just shout out to everybody that's in that lane trying to do something on an educational level to help expand the thinking of these kids today.
Thank you very much, sir. It's the founder and CEO of Smart Music Entertainment, the website smart-hiphop.com. His name is Larry Locke Henderson. We appreciate your time, man. Sunshine Underground, Dena Don's Radio.
I appreciate being here, family. It shows like this to help us thrive, brother.
Thanks for listening to Dena Don's Radio, the hottest internet station on the planet.